switch off.
That's the time you can hurt yourself. Sometimes that's the time where you go on another level.
Whereas for you guys, that's a great example of doing 3 roles in consecutive.
Mercury, I think, is an exquisite study of the intellectual and physical process that goes into creating a dance movement. But more than that, it gives us an insight into the intimate relationship that exists between the dancers and the choreographer. This relationship, I think, is crucial if dancers are going to push themselves to the limit and not cause any physical harm. The film also shows us in minute detail how the body works, the stresses and strains that dancers undertake in order to achieve movements. Again, this can only be achieved because of the absolute trust that the dancer has in the choreographer and his understanding of the knowledge of their limits and their ability. I think this is true of all elite performers and athletes as well. For almost every international footballer or Olympic medalist, there will be a whole team of people who not only understand how to nurture and develop their natural talent, but use the science of sports medicine to care for them and to prevent or treat injuries. There are, of course, some obvious parallels between football and ballet. Both demand extraordinary levels of strength and fitness and a near fanatical commitment to a career that is relatively short-lived and could end in injury at any moment. After the film, we'll have an opportunity to hear some of the less obvious similarities and indeed some of the differences between the disciplines, what they can learn from each other, and some of the parallels that are developing between the care and treatment of both dancers and footballers. In other words, the opportunity of getting inside the science of sports medicine in a way that many of us may not have considered before tonight. And so I'd like to hand you over to Daniel, who will introduce his film.
Paul Tyers selected a series of sequences from the ballet's current repertoire. 3 solo dancers and 1 pair perform 5 sequences in total. The film cuts between the slow motion sequences and the preparation and filming of each sequence. So you get to see the dancers' stylistic differences in extraordinary detail, but you also see their individual responses to directions from Paul and to the experience of seeing themselves slow down. You'll see the camera operator sitting at the monitor, which is capturing tens of thousands of individual photographs, a bit like Muybridge, if he was still around, I suppose. They're being processed to make up the slow motion sequences, so they are individual photographs that I kind of ended up with. The operator started his career as a sports teacher. He developed an interest in using photography to analyse his own students' techniques and movements in class. And he went on to film injured racehorses in the Middle East with high-speed cameras. So now I was able to hire him. He's a specialist cameraman working on wildlife and engineering shoots filming ballistics. He felt that there was an optimum speed for shooting human movement, 500 frames a second. So it was a real challenge for him on the day to film at 2,000 frames a second and almost see these film sequences as moving photographs. And I suppose my interest is purely more than analytical. As with dance itself, the technical side is only half the story. And in the case of film, slowing things down to such a degree generates some quite striking illusions. All sorts of artifacts and emotions appear in the long sequences that, as you'll see, were not there in real time. So we can talk about it afterwards, but I hope you enjoy the film.
In all these years, I've never really seen, such beautiful film of dancers moving. And I'm just wondering where this is going. How are you going to use it, within the dance context, Paul, in terms of...
to me, just hearing what people are saying, when I watch it as well, people that love movement and love dancing, it doesn't have to be ballet or anything like that, just love movement and how the body moves and how the form that you make and everything is so incredible. It's the sort of thing that I think does need to go out and people need to be, to see it. And I think as well for students as well, like I say, with the students now, I'm desperate they get to see them because it explains so much. It's funny when you look at the film, you realise that that's your life. For a dancer, that's what you do. And looking at that, and you see all the beautiful lines, and in my head, I'm still analysing and criticising, and all these things that artists do and dancers do all the time. And I was talking to Daniel, and when you look at it in slow motion, you realise that through years and years of training for myself from the age of 7 and all the way through my career, and I've been in Scotland since 74, so nearly 37 years in Scottish ballet, you actually, in a way, look at things and analyse things in slow motion. And how you've seen that really is how we teach young children, in that slow, very deliberate, what happens, or how you saw Luke, phenomenal, how he puts his foot on the floor and it goes through.
Yeah, I think I have used music before, and I think for the first film, Public Private, I commissioned a piece of music while I was making the film, so the shots weren't choreographed to the music, and I wasn't working to a piece of music. I was just, every now and then I'd phone up the composer and say, today we did this, and today the dances look like this, and kind of give him an idea of how my days were working, and then the music and the image came together, so it was a kind of a bit of serendipity and a nice surprise. But I think you can kind of tie yourself in knots if you work into music too much. I'm not a choreographer, I let other people do that, so I much prefer other people to bring that to me, I think.
Can anyone who wants to see this film see it?
I think it's going to be on in Glasgow, and Scottish Ballet are playing there at the GFT, and I think end of March, 10th, sorry, and Belfast, if you're over there. Yeah, so they're the next 2 screenings. I'm not too sure when else it'll be screened there. There are extracts online at the Scottish Ballet website.